how this Oriental stuff mixes with the blues stuff, which is all the American stuff and the Eastern stuff, how it gets together and makes sense for you.
Well, it's definitely an odd mix, being the scales are so drastically different, but I mean, we bring all kinds of forms of music into it. And if you can use 2s and 4s and just blanket it with anything else that makes sound. I mean, the Pump record is just layered with stuff between the songs. We wanted to put some of this stuff in the song, so this time it's Indian music. Maybe next time it'll be Peruvian pan flute music. We don't know. It's if it makes sound, we try it. This is the first time it actually, became part of the thing. And it actually dictated the lyrics, the way it was going, the Taste of India thing. But I mean, we like to use everything, in making the music, keep it interesting.
We wanted to do an album that got back to the darker side of the band, the edgier, the more experimental side, and I think we really did it on this one. I think we've used the best of what we've learned in the last few albums and combined it with the spirit of our early albums.
You have done 3 of this new album.
The new one was really fun. The Pink video. Yeah.
Which is a high-tech video.
Yeah.
How did you do all these effects?
Well, that's the thing. We didn't do it. Yeah. All we had to do was show up,
okay.
And look goofy and just have a fun time. Usually video shoots they're torture. I mean, you get there at 11 o'clock in the morning, and the next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock the next day.
3 days later, it's 11 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, you still have to go on, and you've been up for 24 hours, and it's just this never-ending torture. But that one was great, because we just showed up, and we each did, about an hour and a half of walking toward the camera. And then they took the footage and shipped it off to Paris and made it into what it is,
We've been looking for some kind of, we've been looking for some kind of video we could sort of get out of the telling the same old boy-girl story around an Aerosmith song, and I think this is a good break for us, and maybe will allow us to bridge video-wise into doing some different things now.
Maybe with Hole in My Soul, you were feeling like repeating you a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do.
It was a song.
Yeah,
we were under a lot of pressure on that one, because we didn't know until the last minute which song we were going to go with next. And once it was all decided, we had about a week and a half to come up with a concept, shoot it, and get it ready. So I'm actually really proud of the way that one came out, considering the conditions. I mean, we literally, on Sunday, we were up until 2 o'clock shooting it, and then at 6 o'clock we left for the airport to fly to Europe for the beginning of the tour. So some people say we work best that way.
And the first one, Falling in Love.
Falling in Love.
It was an amazing video. I mean, lots of stuff to watch, lots of details. I guess that was complicated. It wasn't very easy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Our part of it was fairly easy, because it was a performance video, and they cut the rest of the stuff in. Whereas Pink, we really wanted to do something without any performance in it, and we wanted something that was, a bit on the groundbreaking side. And I think Pink does that. There's a lot of great stuff to watch. There's a lot of great special effects. It's really funny, and it's got a lot of character and personality. And it was probably the easiest video that we ever made.
For us.
Yes.
Somebody else worked really hard on it, but it wasn't us.
I think he doth protest too much.
Doesn't matter. The music's good.
Get that.
Okay, this is not even.
That was better. That's much better.
So what does this mean? We're on the air? Does that mean we're sucking nitrous?
Wait a minute. Before you talk, I have to say something. Please don't use any freaking obscenities, okay? Hello?
Nice warm wink, Marty. Steve.
Hey.
I was wondering if we can get your daughter's number.
that because I have a daughter, and that's just, that's sacred. You can make a million jokes about someone's mom, but you
Dial
your kid, man.
dial 1-800-SUCK-THIS.
Oh, Steve,
No, I got an idea.
Hold on,
I got an
this guy's
idea.
got some balls because let me tell you something. Every man on is wanting to ask that question. So you got to. This guy's a pioneer. You got to give the guy a little credit. He's a little pioneer. Every man that's listening to this program is thinking the same thing. He's the only one that's got the balls to call in. So although we can't give it to you, everybody's thinking that.
No, wait a minute.
Don't get mad.
I got an idea.
Mr.
I got an
Fine.
idea. We'll give it to you. Stephen will write it on the bullet.
Oh. Okay, I better shut up.
98, hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, I was just got a question for you. What's the best song you like really hits you on a stage of all the things you do?
Turn your radio down, man.
What is it?
That feedback prelude.
I don't know, Sweet Emotion. First thing that comes to mind. And Lives or Sweet Emotion?
It's my video.
You got my band? I'm so tired a little bit. Yeah. All right. What's your name? Okay, thanks. Yeah. Stretch goes out. Pull right there. No, pull. You pull, I'll hold this part. Yeah. Oh, there you go. See, I get the most coverage out of that. Good evening and welcome to In Your Face Productions.
It's a tradition for Aerosmith. Because what's the feeling? What's the difference between doing the meet and greet and going on stage?
It's coming in contact with the audience and not being isolated. Because I think if a band stays isolated, they can start to get bored and just think that it's the same thing every night. But when you're meeting different people all the time, it keeps it really fresh, and it keeps the novelty up. I mean, all those people at meet and greet, they're nervous. They're going to meet the band, and it's all about music and the love of music, and so that energy is something that we get too.
We understand what it's like to be a fan because we're still, there's so much music and people that we still look up to. We really understand what it's like to be a fan. And we think it's really important to have that exchange of a fan and in some instances, it can be a life-altering experience for someone. Sometimes they say, "Oh, if I could meet that person." And sometimes you meet that person and they say something, or it's just a simple exchange, but it can maybe change the way you look at your own life, and so it might be a small moment in time, but it's real important, I think, and over the years, I think it's made a difference to our fans. And
It brings you closer to your fans.
All right, take your best shot. Come on.
Ready to go? It's going to rock tonight, I'm sure.
tell me about the stage, the props, and the things you're putting in here on the stage in the U.S. and Europe? A lot of serpents, snakes, and...
It's just for the fun of it.
Okay.
Let's have stuff. You know what I mean? What's this? I mean, you know, cloth on the couch. It's, you know, it's just changing
an
around a little
adornment.
bit. You know.
You know, it's like...
I just get a kick out of seeing the snakes come up, you know, and watching that.
Is that a boy thing?
Yeah.
What have
No
you
one
been...
ever gets that though.
The US tour is done. I heard Japan and Europe again.
Oh, yeah, we just,
Australia.
We just sold out the Budokan, the Tokyo Dome 2 nights in a row. So we're going to go over there for 3 weeks in March, and then we're going to head down South America and all that. And looking so forward to it, you know.
What do you remember Latin America? Here's Air Force One, and there's a highlighted Mexico City where they did this little dance with the lighters, 20,000 lighter kind of worked the way from the back, kind of like a flame.
Well, you know how the farther away from sound, because sound travels at 3,654.690, said Spock, miles per hour, that if you're 20 feet back, you hear the so people are flicking their lighters in time, and because there's a time difference, everybody hears it differently. It goes you know, up all the way up, and it's like you're talking, you know, 2,500 feet, you know, up into the nosebleed section. It just looked outrageous. I couldn't figure out what was going on. You know, was I tripping? Was I having a flashback from the 60s, or was this really going on? It was very cool. Not to mention that they're very much like Mexico City was very much like Spain,
Italy, maybe.
Italy, you know, in that, you know, they're very much into their soccer and football. So in between songs, they're chanting, and it's phenomenal. I love that. They don't do that in the States. What's the matter with you?
Of course, when you go to Brazil, you're going to do the down south and Chile, Argentina.
Yeah.
Maybe there's always like through MTV people complaining about why places like Venezuela and Colombia are always left.
We almost played in Venezuela on the last tour, but something went wrong, not with us, but down there with the arrangements. And they told us and said, well, we'll have to try it next time. We were really looking forward to it. And we were talking about playing in Colombia too. It just, there was something about the organization of it that didn't work.
Yeah, this time, if you want to go to Vietnam, you have to make it local too.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to Vietnam.
He never thought he'd say that.
Yeah. How many guitars are you taking?
About 25 maybe this time.
How many mics? How many harps? How many?
2 mics, probably 100 harps, because I throw them out into the audience all the time. And that's about it.
And how many songs, just to finish the interview, how many songs is I know the set list is changing slightly, I mean, from day to day, depending on your mood or the mood of the audience. How many songs, actually? How many hours? The Aerosmith show right now?
2 hours, 5, 10, depends, you know. It was for the longest time, it was 1 hour 45, and so now it's up to about 2 hours, and how many songs we do, 20?
20, 22 around there. I think we probably have about 40 songs we could play right now. You know, we got to play end to end. But obviously we know more than that. It's just that getting everybody to play them all the way through would be an effort.
It would be work. We got to play.
We're waiting for you in Latin America, guys, really. For the middle of next year, 1998, Aerosmith estará de vuelta. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Take care.
See ya.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Steve. Good to see you again.